No, look, I've said this plenty of times, but I'll say it again because you're here in front of me. Taxstone was my friend, still is my friend.
Right.
We talked.
Right.
In fact, I believe his last interview was with me right before he got picked up, just by total chance. But he had been out a year, so we were all thinking that nothing's going to happen. You know, I never talked to him about the case or anything else like that. I remember when it happened, I called him, I said, "You good?" He said, "I'm good." I said, "That's it. I don't want to have any more conversations about this because I don't know who's listening on these phones or whatever else." Because he had some people snitch on him that he was like hanging with, and it was all fucked up.
Right.
But I will say this, and I've always said it, Troy Ave was the aggressor in this situation.
Right.
And I've dealt with this bullshit aggressive energy with him. At one point, he threatened me over a text message because I wouldn't play his music. Troy had this chip on his shoulder because people wouldn't put him on when he was coming up, that once he got a little bit of buzz, it's like, oh, I'm going to get back on everyone who didn't support me. Like, to all the artists who are listening to this right now, no one's going to see your vision as you're coming up. So if you do get a level of traction, don't take it out on the people who didn't see your vision. It's your vision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not, if you weren't hot enough for someone to fuck with you and now you are, be glad you're hot enough for someone to fuck with you when you are on.
Indeed.
There's lots of people who didn't fuck with me when I was starting off who now want to fuck with me because I've raised my, my level to the point where it makes sense commercially to fuck with other people. Yeah. But Troy always had this dumbass chip on his shoulder, and you saw it, how he was using Banger to beat up I Love McConan, to beat up this other blogger at one point. And he walked into it as the aggressor in that situation. You were there, and I heard the story, but you were there to see it. And I always said this, if this happened in Florida, it'd be a stand your ground. Everyone's free. And I remember me and Tony A were talking about this, and it's like, if Taxstone just had a knife instead of a gun, because a gun does not work for every situation. In fact, it's the worst thing to do in most situations. If he had just had a knife, or if he just knuckled up.
But if he would have had nothing, and then, they would have got what they were looking for, which in my opinion was a world star moment. Bragging rights, I get it, I understand. You see a nigga that, you got to issue it, you want to address it. I get that, but don't cry about it later. You know what you was on.
Yeah. I mean, he's in jail right now.
Right, but you know what you was on.
Yeah, I know exactly what he was on. Me and Troy are never going to be cool.
No, it's not.
And I'm fine with that.
Right, but I'm saying don't play victim later, is all I'm saying. Like, you know what you was on, you understand the situation, and you understand that, your friend died because of you. Because of your actions.
Exactly. And it killed me. It killed me when I found out what Taxstone got, because me and him had been talking the whole time. Me and his lawyer were talking. Taxstone wanted to do an interview as his trial was starting, and I said, I'm not going to do it. I said, I don't want to be the reason why you get convicted. You can go to someone else, and you can hate me if you want after this. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be the reason why, because this will be used in court. You know what I'm saying? So I go to someone else if you want to do it, because he wanted to get his story out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, not right now. And, I hope that he gets an appeal. I hope he gets out, because had that not happened to Taxstone, he'd be like Gillian Wallow right now. He'd be at that level.
Right.
He'd be a Nori right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he was well on his way to be that. He had just interviewed Meek Mill. People were fucking with him. Like, he was like the voice of...
Right. And he was very early in the whole genre.
Yeah, man. And that's my friend, man. And it still fucks me up to this day, And I hope he gets out early, because the amount of time he got was crazy.
Indeed.
Did you and Tax have a relationship?
Yeah, we speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Were you friends before that happened?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we
man.
speak.
It's bad.
Call me from time to time.
Yep.